and welcome in tonight's news. The lower house continues its deliberations over the 2024 state budget draft law. The foreign minister says UNRWA plays an indispensable role in delivering aid to more than 2 million Palestinians facing a humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. And Gaza's health ministry says more than 160 Palestinians have been killed and 290 wounded in the past 24 hours. Welcome again, I'm Samah, Talala. The lower house of Parliament continued its deliberations over the 2024 state budget draft law. In a session today chaired by the House Speaker and attended by the Prime Minister, a total of 21 MPs spoke about the economic and political challenges facing the kingdom. The MPs warned of the consequences of rising prices of water and electricity, calling for measures to be taken to address the budget deficit, reduce losses, and review energy agreements. Several MPs also stressed the importance of supporting the army and other security apparatuses, citing the formidable security challenges facing the region. Other lawmakers called for increasing the salaries and pensions of civil servants and military servicemen. Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi said UNRWA plays an indispensable role in delivering humanitarian aid to more than 2 million Palestinians facing a humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. In a phone call with the agency's Commissioner General Philip Lazzarini, Safadi stressed the need for the international community to continue providing necessary assistance to the agency. He said that the agency should not be subject to collective punishment as a result of allegations against 12 of its 13,000 staff in Gaza, especially since UNRWA has begun an immediate investigation into the allegations. Safadi and Lazzarini urged the countries that announced the suspension of their support for UNRWA to reverse their decision. Earlier, UN officials and aid groups called for countries to reconsider their decision to pause funding for UNRWA, warning that its life-saving aid for some 2 million people in Gaza was at risk. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres appealed to the governments that has suspended their contributions to at least guarantee the continuity of UNRWA's operations. At least 9 countries, including top donors, the United States and Germany, have paused funding for UNRWA following allegations by Israel that some of its staff were involved in the October 7th Hamas attacks on Israel. At least 165 Palestinians have been killed and 290 injured as Israel continues its bombardment and airstrikes in the Gaza Strip. 9 civilians were killed and several others injured this morning in a series of Israeli aerial and artillery strikes on Gaza City and Khan Yunis. The Gaza Health Ministry warned that medical facilities are at risk of collapse in Khan Yunis as fighting raged across the Palestinian enclave. In a statement, the ministry said that at least 26,400 Palestinians have been killed and more than 65,000 injured in Israeli strikes on the besieged enclave since October the 7th. In the occupied West Bank, dozens of Palestinians have been injured today in clashes with Israeli forces in a number of refugee camps, towns, and cities. The occupation forces also arrested 22 people for allegedly taking part in armed operations against Israeli settlers and forces. Israeli soldiers also stormed dozens of houses in the West Bank and detained their inhabitants for hours-long interrogation since October the 7th. Israeli forces have arrested over 6,300 Palestinians across the West Bank. That's it for tonight. Thanks for joining.